Welcome, guys. So today we are going to talk about witches, witchcraft, in celebration of Halloween. Halloween is such a beautiful, beautiful holiday for myself. I'm a spooky baby, born October 24th. And Halloween has always been so, so dear to my heart. So much fun, dressing up, fall, all the spooky energy, witches and all of that. And it's such a beautiful topic. And I'm so excited to dive into this episode. And I would like to introduce you Sam. She is a earthy witch as well as a extrasensory starseed. Welcome, Sam, and thank you for being in here.
Yay! Thank you very much. So happy to be here. Thank you for having me. Hi, everybody. I hope you're all doing really, really well today. I'm here creating a lovely video about witchcraft and manifesting and just a few things involved within that. And I'm doing this with my lovely friend, Pythagoras Blue Arc. He is incredible. He is an international quantum coach, a meditation guide, an Akashic record reader, and also an extrasensory starseed. Oh, hello!
Thank you so much for having me, Sam. I'm so excited to dive into this episode of witchcraft. Okay. So, the word witchcraft can mean a lot for a lot of people. And, you know, when it comes to witches and witchcraft, the whole idea of witches, that we see in movies, it's not necessarily accurate. The whole creativity of like doing potions and doing all that stuff, it's beautiful to watch in movies, but I believe that when it comes to being a witch, it's such a sacred spiritual practice. It's such a sacred ritualistic practice. My very, very uh, first experiences of trying to understand and be creative about spells and such came out at a really young age, Sam. And I believe I was around, um, probably around 18, 19. Uh, Before that, I was already all into the occult, uh, Wicca, uh, pagan vibes, and all that stuff. And I was already reading all these books. And, but really, when I was 19, that's when I just went full into, uh, I wanted to be able to manifest, honestly. That's how it started. I remember during those times, the whole new age, uh, back then the spiritual community was called the new age. And yeah, my experience about spells and witchcraft really comes from a uh, the four elements, and just working with earth, working with objects to be able to manifest. And during those times, I wanted to manifest bigger things. I wanted to be able to manifest big, big things. And I'll bring you to one of my stories, Sam. So I remember that I was doing a lot of research online, you know, and I wanted to dive into an experience that felt and resonated with my being, you know, and when it comes to witchcraft and spells and all of that, there's so many different kinds. There's the many different cultures that practice all these ritualistic spells, and they're all valid. Honestly, everyone has their own choice. For me, the experience that felt dear to my heart during that time was more of a Wicca and pagan perspective. I do come from a background. My grandma was a witch, and she was an earthy witch. She would work with herbs. She would work with her intention, and it was all about really about that love, spirit, intention. And I remember her doing her spells with herbs and cleansing me when I would get sick. And I really wouldn't get sick that much, but it would be like once a year. And I remember her doing all these, like, gathering all these herbs, uh, giving me a type of tea with like different herbs, and it really was about the intention. So I do come from a background where uh, the craft and all of that was involved. So for me, I guess it was a little easier for me to just practice that once I got a little older, when I was 19. And I just wanted to get creative. I'm an artist as well. I like to paint and do all that, so I really wanted to get creative. So just went ahead and gathered things around to try to do spells. Now, I remember I started practicing with candle magic. I started practicing with writing, and just using all the elements: earth, air, fire, water, spirit. The intention would really allow me to manifest. During those times of my life, I was definitely using the energy of the moon. So during the full moon, I would dance to the moon. I would offer my dance as a ritual to the full moon, and then allow the energy of the moon to harness and be downloaded into my spells. And honestly, it was so powerful. Like, they would always end up working. I would find myself going into parks, gathering sticks, or going into the park, and would go there and bury my spells, because they needed to be on Earth. I was already connected to the Earth, like using that magic and like the the power of the Earth for me to be able to manifest what I wanted. So that was my backstory. My craft changed, but now looking back, Sam, into that area of my life, I recognize and I understand that I was learning how to manifest. I was learning how to use the law of attraction by using a tangible object, and with my intent and direct focus, I would allow this tangible object to attract what I wanted to do. So for me, spells and witchcraft and doing all of that is nothing but a creative outlet. And using tangible objects, it's nothing but manifesting what you truly want. That's pretty much my experience. Now, I'm curious, when was your first experience, Sam? What do you what were you doing during that time? Take us back into that moment.
Well, it's very similar to what you've said, actually, and I've loved everything you said. Thank you for sharing all of that. I was about 18, 19 as well when I first started diving into this all bit properly. My mother's side, both grandparents had like the healing hands, the tea leaves, chatting to spirit. So, I've always kind of had those lessons around me. But how I first started getting into witchcraft was through herbology and whatnot. So I have quite intense psoriasis. Usually it's my whole body is covered. And, I'd be going to hospital treatments, I'd be on loads of medications, and nothing worked. So then I originally went vegan and then just started using everything plant-based and creating my own stuff, learning about the herbs and what does what together. So yes, that was kind of my first introduction in that sense. However, spirit-wise, because that's, working with the elements as well, my first experience with them, I can't even think. I remember just sitting with somebody, one of my friends, and telling them that, my family's into all this, and I've been working with it, learning how to ground myself and meditate to then open up to it. And I was just able to tell her loads of things about our granny who'd passed, which is really cool. And yeah, so I think that was kind of my first few experiences. And then coming into other groups with other people, because it's all witch skills, ain't it? Doing all this stuff, who were doing this as well. And again, just following on with that, which was really, really cool. And in terms of spell work, oh, so I'm quite Norse, Celtic, pagan kind of background as well. And I've got a dear friend she's more so into it. She's more witchcrafty, as I'm more like spirit. So it's nice when we tie ourselves together. But we like to go into the woods at night time and create big salt circles with huge fires because we like to talk to Odin, yeah. So
Oh,
he
wow.
needs a lot of um,
Yes.
yeah, so just much of that. We noticed ourselves as well. We had a lot of influences with weather when we were doing this. And I'd be writing out the things that I was getting rid of on like massive sheets of paper, and we'd throw them in. We needed lots of fire. We've got a lot of things to burn, you see, from this, like to
Yeah.
transmute. But that was my first few experiences, which was wow, crazy.
Yeah. It sounds like it was definitely a journey, and so it's fun too, because I feel like the whole the whole thing about creating a spell is such a creative outlet,
Yeah,
and it's
it's like
so yes, it's so fun to just like gather things, and get it done. I had the upper during that time, I was definitely attracting a lot of witches into my life, a lot of witches, and now looking back into the past, I could see how the universe was like manifesting and attracting all these people into my reality, because the universe knew, source energy knew that they were needed into that stage of my life. I really wanted to learn how to manifest, and
Mhm.
or not necessarily just manifest, but like sort of like knock and be like, is anybody else there, which is like the earth, or is the element of fire going to allow my spell to work, and or even the air, the water. I remember during that time, um I got to know this male witch,
Mhm.
and it was like, for me, that was a big, 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 beautiful moment in my life,
Mhm.
because I could see myself reflected in him. Like I was here, honestly, Sam, I was like doing all my little spells, gathering, going into to the to the stores, where you would get your things, candles and such.
Yes.
And I would be doing all this in secret, you know, all in secret. And during full moon, I would be doing my rituals, my spells,
Mhm.
doing all of that. So during that time, I was so grateful to have this beautiful, beautiful male witch enter into my life. And I remember that we dated, and we were together for about 2 years, and I learned so much from him. And I think that what helped me a lot during that relationship was uh falling in love with another person, and having that common beautiful, beautiful thing, such as witchcraft. And I would learn so much just by observing, and that would give me so much confidence to keep doing my rituals and doing all of that. So I do believe that relationships and friends, are so helpful when we want to learn, when we want to do bigger things, because that gives us confirmations, that gives us validations and confidence, and it makes us feel safe that it's okay to have that. And I might not, during that time, I didn't have, I probably had, I guess, 2 or 3 or 4 witches, friends. And, for me, that was enough, because they would remind me that it was okay to be this way. You know what I mean? And, Sam, like society carries this big, big shadow when it comes to demonizing witches, and let's talk about that. Let's shine some light into that idea. What has been your experience as you being your authentic self, which Have you had any bad experiences with other people projecting their fear on you? Tell us.
Well, nah, it's not. I say no, but I mean, I take things really lightly. So, you could say a lot to me and I'd be like, okay, that's nice. However, I work in a mainstream job, so it's not witchy there. But when I was first started to see spirit properly, like a few years ago, obviously I was overwhelmed in normal life as well as my own life. So I would go into work a bit like, what? And I remember speaking about it to some people, and they more came from a place of fear. They'd be trying to second guess everything, like, oh, you sure you've just not eaten enough today? Have you just not drank? They were always doubting me. So I've never actually experienced any hate for being a witch, which is awesome. But definitely a lot of fear manifesting as, the projection and all that kind of jazz. But I can handle that. That's okay. What about yourself as a male witch as well? Has there been extra there or?
Yeah, honestly, like during that time, I could see myself as an outcast,
Mhm.
Um, I was already doing a lot of spiritual research, and like when you go into spiritual research, sometimes you can go into a wormhole and just like end up in another universe and you're completely changed, So I was always during that time I would find myself I would have to dumb down myself, and then just be like talk more normal to people.
Yes.
So definitely, yeah. So definitely talking about, oh yeah, I'm a witch and I'm doing all these spells or whatever was definitely not something I would share a lot. But I'm pretty sure people could feel it. They could see it. The way I would dress, was really gothic during that time. Was wearing a lot of black, and I could see how other people could see that, in me. But for me, it was more of a private, secret experience. But at the same time, during that time, I was younger. My heart chakra was definitely not that open, and it was okay, I never necessarily got any hate from it. I was privileged to, like I said, to have other witches surround me and give me that confidence and then just be in a safe space. But at the same time, I did feel a sense of I'm gonna do this in secret, you know, or social media during that time was definitely not how it is
Oh,
now.
yes.
Yeah, I'm talking about like MySpace times, like it was a long time ago. And but I understand that that was a privilege for me, and when we look back into times, like towards the end of the 1600s, we understand that, the Salem witch trials were a real thing, and when I tapped into the root of this whole situation, it always goes back down into the unbalance, toxic masculinity, and and I believe that during those times, these women were trying to understand themselves. They were remembering who they really were. They were remembering their divine, sacred self, and they were working with the elements. And when I tap into that energy, I definitely see how the unbalanced toxic masculinity was threatened. They were threatened by these powerful women, and they wanted to be the ones that had all that power, and even when we go back into the times of the church and all of that, like control religion, and then just one person being like, no, uh this is the only way you can connect to God, if you do this specific way. And I believe that that's all BS. There's no right or wrong way. I think everyone has their own unique experience. I believe that during those times, men were in older generations of men were threatened by by the idea women in that sacred feminine divine energy rising up, and they had to suppress it. They had to, in a way, the Catholic Church did a lot of they demonized all that, the whole thing of like creating the evil and whatever. I'm not gonna go into the whole church situation, but I do understand that a lot of the times, a lot of this unbalanced energy that happens with humanity comes from the unbalanced toxic masculinity. And and yeah, like, I do believe that these women were really, really, really powerful. They were finding their own ways. They were having they were having confirmations. They
Yeah.
were having validations. They were healing people. They were healing their family members. They were healing themselves. They were creative. You know, they were gathering, whatever they had around them during these times. That's what they were using, and they were using the intention. Their intention was so, so strong, you
Yes.
know, and I I read that during that time there was like 20 witches that were burnt alive. And again, the toxic masculinity, doing creating a lot of trauma, fear for other people to not tap into those outlets. So if anything, it was more of a control to suppress that and be like, oh, don't do that. And then they will demonize that and be like, oh, don't, spells and all of that is evil. Do not tap into that. And then, you know, when you say that to the mind, to someone's mind, they're going to be like, oh no, I gotta protect myself. I gotta be safe. I
Yep.
can't, yeah, I'm not gonna be part of this. And towards the end of the 1600s, I'm pretty sure like the mind compared to the mind that we have now collectively was definitely not evolved at all. But even during that time, Sam, I believe that these witches were definitely using their power of their heart and intention, harnessing that connection to the earth, and such. What do you think about all this? Do you feel that, in a sense, the new age witches or the new spiritual witches in the now, do you feel like we're still paying for those moments? Do you feel like there's still some DNA trauma that we carry within ourselves? What do you think about that?
Yes, you definitely see it stretched across other planes of this world just now, maybe not so much in the likes of Scotland and Britain and America, but we're seeing it elsewhere that, people still being suppressed for their healing gifts. But that's why it's so important for all of us to rise, especially every single male practitioner out there as well. Any male that's interested in this, I feel like I like how it's switched around from women being worried to come out to now like the men, I'm enjoying seeing this 50-50 the whole way, and just how everything's so connected from
Yeah.
past to now, I'm really
What would your advice be for those secret witches that are watching us right now, that are doing all this in secret, that are not talking about their experience because of fear of being rejected or because of whatever their own projections? What would your advice from your heart be to all these women, and not only women, men, and everyone else that naturally, organically likes to create spells and be a witch? What would your advice be to those persons that still slightly don't feel ready to come out of the witchy closet, per se?
Oh wow. Well, I'm still in a bit of a similar situation. This is my first video about witchy stuff, so
Mhm.
we're getting it as well. But in terms of messages from my heart, I just like to wish everybody to be free in themselves. You know, I feel like within witchcraft and within like social media and whatnot, a lot of us newer practitioners, we quite often end up comparing ourselves, you know? And like what you said about how the witches would use whatever's around them, you know? I might have rosemary growing right here for protection, but you might have another plant for protection, you know? But as long as you have that intention. And I
Yeah.
realized along witchcraft, it's all intention, because for ages, I wasn't using any. Oh, and you know, things would just backfire. And then, as well, with like we were saying about having that balanced heart space and head
Mhm.
space, all your spaces. So, yes, any practitioners that are starting on this journey, just to keep going, to keep researching, to keep looking into what you feel called to look into, and to
Yes.
stop second guessing yourselves. Yes, just do it and go.
That I love that message because it really is all about gaining that freedom, and understanding that your own way of manifesting is your own personal experience. There's no right or wrong. Okay. And if like just like Sam said, if someone else is using rosemary to manifest, and you feel called in to use this specific tangible object or whatever, that's your own unique way of manifesting and doing spell crafting. It's so creative, and have so much freedom, because there's a lot of people out there. There's definitely a lot of people out there that, you know, I understand that, spellcraft and witchcraft and or just like manifesting in general is such a sacred
Mhm.
experience for the self. But I do understand that now that we're ascending into the 5D, we're opening up and we are expressing and sharing our experience. And that's going to help other people to gain more confidence and understand that it's okay to share. It's okay to express that. And yeah, like there's no right or wrong, like even in culture, there's many different types of witchcraft. And let's get there. Let's get to the next chapter of this episode. Okay, so we are going to enter into the next chapter of this episode. But before we do the creative, we're going to teach you guys how to create some beautiful spells. Before we dive into that, I want to talk about and just share with you guys that, like I said earlier, there's no right or wrong. Um, it is only the mind and our own projections, our own fear projections being projected into other people's way of living, other people's way of expressing themselves. It is it is always that mind, creating all these blockages and that judgment that comes from the ego and the mind. I want to shine some light and share with you guys that there is no right or wrong way to be a witch. Okay. We have, when we see culture around the world, we see Santeria, we see Spiritismo, we see um, Wicca, we see Hoodoo, Voodoo. There is no competition. There is, from divine higher perspective, there is no competition. One of the practice is not better than the other one. It is only the person's own mind, and I do see that collectively, that, we've been brainwashed by the media in all these movies into seeing all these other people's way of expressing their own manifestation, uh, through such as voodoo or hoodoo. We
Yeah. Mhm.
in the media, at least in the United States, like in movies and all of that, they show other people's experience when it comes to witchcraft as like either they either demonize it, or they either like put them as like it's black, dark,
Yes.
or negative or evil. you know? And I just want to clarify that when it comes to energy, there's no good or bad energy. Energy just is just energy, you know?
Mhm.
And energy cannot be created or destroyed. It just exists. It is our intention and how we direct that energy that creates the manifestation. It is our intention, our true intention, driven by choice. So everyone that is watching, you have the choice to create and manifest something, you know, for the good and the bad, because that's the will, you know, that's a humans. We have the power, we have that choice, you know, that free will, you know, to manifest something for us, for the good
Mhm.
or the bad, you know. So I also don't want to discourage people, you know, like there's this whole this whole idea of like, don't do love spells, don't do this specific things. If you feel called into doing a love spell and maybe that's going to help you gain more confidence as a witch, go do it. You know, we're not going to be here in this platform and tell you, well, you can't do this, you can't do that, because there we're going to be actually acting like in the 1600s, like those men that would suppress other people for expressing their own true divine ritualistic spellcraft. We're not doing that in here. You have the freedom to express, to manifest whatever you want, but there is a choice, you
Mhm.
know, and with great power comes great responsibility, right, Sam?
Yes.
We are responsible. Yes, we are responsible on how we direct that energy, you know. I do believe that when you send out something, it does come back to you, you
Yes.
know. I do believe that. In, you know, it's the same thing, like you send bad vibes to someone else, it's the universe is going to mirror that and drive that bad energy back to yourself. So it's the
I'm
same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing with spells. Whoever is watching us, watch your own mind, watch
Mhm.
your own internal patterns, watch there should be awareness, is about that space in between the emotion and the feeling. Your awareness is not feeling, if you're feeling an angry or a judgment emotion, your awareness is not feeling that. Your awareness is, every time your awareness is in that seat of awareness, unbothered, observing. It is only the emotions and the feelings of the body, the thoughts that we have, our own rooted unconscious personal beliefs that give these judgments to other people. So I just want to shine some light and understand that every single spellcraft is valid. Okay.
Mhm.
If other people get called into using whatever tangible object they want to use, if that's all they have around them, what else are they going to use, you know? So at the end of the day, this reality, this physical reality, is nothing but an illusion, a projection of our brain. Okay. It might seem so real, but it really, you know, this life is, this physical reality is an illusion. And at the end of the day, everyone should have the openness to be able to express their craft however they want to express it. What do you what do you want to tell us, Sam, about that? What do you think about this?
I feel like you pretty much said everything about it, really, because I feel like I've had quite a few people talking about love spells, and but really, what they're doing is they've made up in their mind that somebody sent them something, so then they're starting to go crazy in their own head, like you were saying, like putting out all these possibilities that are probably not really a thing. So
Yeah.
yes, I very much agree with everything that you said there. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. You know, the whole thing about a love spell, we'll just use as an example, you know, guys, don't take it so serious. We'll just give you guys an example. The whole thing about a love spell, if you really feel called into doing this whole ritual to attract a specific person more into your reality, and then you're going to get all creative, and it's coming from a place of like you really want that or whatever, that could be your way of expressing you wanting this person. My opinion about that would be I would rather do a spell of self-love to
Yeah.
just attract whatever is really meant to be in my reality. Do you know? But if you really want to get specific and do the whole love spell situation and write down the name of that person, if you want to do that, get it done. Nobody's going to stop you, because at the end of the day, maybe in 2 years, when you're no longer with this person or you're still with that person, who knows? Maybe that quantum jumped you into creating a beautiful reality with, such person. Like I said, energy is not good or bad. It's just energy. And us being able to manipulate that energy, this is why we're here. And even the word manipulation is not a bad word. Manipulating energies, using that power, being aware and conscious that you're able to manipulate the energy in your reality. And, you know, but I get everything comes with a responsibility. Do you agree? Like, we are responsible of what we attract into our reality.
Yeah, like I know for a fact that, if you're constantly thinking negatively, whether it's about yourself or people around you, then that's the spells that you're putting out there, So that's why like the mindful, you can't do witchcraft without the meditation and the mindfulness, it all has to come together to be one if you want to flow through it. Yeah, and
Yes.
the awareness that you need.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, even meditation is a way to be able to manifest, I feel like, and that's where we're getting at now in my current life. My way of manifesting things comes more from a place of meditation, mindfulness, just going to meditation, and I just reaffirm what I want, and that's it. I don't second guess it. I don't ask myself, oh, is this going to work out or not? No, I just know that if my intention is pure, and I just know and feel it and embody that energy here, you do have to be a vibrational match to that energy. Like if you're asking for joy, you have to embody joy. We can't go around and complain and hate everything that is in our reality, because that's a lower frequency. So it really is about becoming that energy in the now. Like a spell to change or attract a better job. As an example, you have to be happy where you are in order for you to get something better, and it really is all about intention. So today we have a beautiful practice. We're going to teach you guys from our experience how we can manifest in celebration of the spooky month. Yes, in celebration of Halloween, we are going to teach you guys how to dress a pumpkin and do a spell for manifestation. And this manifestation could be anything that you want. And it's really, really easy to do. So Sam, get ready. We are going to grab our pumpkin and show you guys how to do it. I'll direct it and guide it. And then towards the end of dressing the pumpkin, we'll do a small meditation, and Sam is going to bless us with some beautiful light language for this manifestation to happen. And so we're gonna grab our pumpkin. So we're ready to do our pumpkin spell for manifestation. And this spell, you can also use it to clear energy. But if you want to do one to clear energy, then use another pumpkin. like you don't necessarily want to do a lot of intentions in one because they're two different vibrations. So this manifestation one could be about attracting whatever you want, or even just attracting more peace, more harmony into your life, even money, whatever you want. It's pretty easy. So we're gonna grab our pumpkin. Mine looks like this.
Oh, wow, that's such a cool pumpkin.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Mine's like a nice one.
Yes. So does your pumpkin have any separations? Or is it just like,
Yes,
all right, so
like the top.
beautiful. So when we're doing a pumpkin spell, we want to become aware of the tangible. This is a tangible object. Means that it's matter, it's vibrating, it looks real, but it's definitely, it has a lot of earthy energy. It was born, it the plant attracted all the beautiful energy from the sun, so it does carry a high vibration because the sun is so strong. It helps us to grow, even be alive. The sun is the father of the earth. So first, become aware of what your pumpkin looks like. So I'm looking at my pumpkin. I love this sage color. I love this color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to count how many separations does it have. So mine has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So mine has 9 separations. How about yours, Sam?
11, yay! I like it. Because nine's completion numerology. That's really cool. Mine's 11. So, yes.
Okay, yes. So in my case, I am going to pray into my spell for 9 days and nights. Okay. And so now that I'm aware of what the pumpkin is telling me, it's telling me it has nine separations. So I'm gonna narrow down into 9 days of me intentionally every single day looking at the pumpkin and reaffirming what I want to manifest. Is that pretty easy to do, right?
Yeah.
So next step is we're going to cut the top or the side of the pumpkin, right? We're going to get that done later on. So now that we have our pumpkin cut up, right? We're going to put our pumpkin to the side. And now we can grab a piece of paper. You can get a piece of paper from your journal. My journal looks like this.
Oh, that's a very pretty journal. Oh, I love it. I just got paper.
That's okay. So I'm going to get a piece of paper from my journal. You're going to grab a pen. You're going to grab a pen, and on the piece of paper, you are going to write your manifestation. So for example, if you're trying to manifest a car, you can get specific, but that if you get so specific, that's a lot of expectations. You want to give the universe freedom. You know what I mean? To give you what you're meant to receive also, because if we give such a specific expectation, that might be the universe might be, well, I can't necessarily get that for you right now, so you're not going to have it, so we want to write down in a present tense. So we're going to write down, for example, so write down what you want to manifest, Sam. And I'm going to be so open as possible to you guys. So I want to manifest so I'm going to write down, I am peace.
Oh.
So my manifestation spell is going to be more of just gathering more harmony and peace. But if you get called into manifesting such as a car, a new computer, whatever it is, write it down in the now. You want to write it down, not in the future. You want to speak to the universe in the now, like you already have it. So, for example, I'm writing, I am peace. I am not writing, I want peace. I am not writing, I will like peace, because the signature vibration that I'm telling the universe is like, yeah, give it to me later on, but it's always going to be later on. Like it's going to be a holdback every time. So what else do I want to add into this pumpkin spell? I am health. I am harmony. I am abundant. I am kindness. I radiate joy. And what's coming up for me right now, maybe this month I want to be able to meditate longer. So I will write down, I meditate. And remember, guys, this is supposed to be fun. Have fun at it. I meditate for longer periods. Okay. And remember, every little detail about your spell counts. If you don't have much resources, it's okay because the universe reads intention, right? But if you want to have so much fun and whatever, then see, like I'm using a pink pen to write down. You can get really, really creative. So once you're done, are you?
Yes.
How's your writing coming up, Sam?
Oh, good. I wrote a lot of stuff that you wrote. Why? You said so good things. Yes,
Great.
very much. Yes.
Oh, and before I finish, I'm gonna write down, I am open to receive.
I like that one too.
I am open to receive love. Because love is abundance, and abundance comes in many forms, prosperity, money, and all of that, Okay. So now that we have our piece of paper, okay, in my case, my pumpkin is 9 divisions. So I'm going to fold my paper in nine pieces. But before that, you might want to dress the paper with something that you'll like. I have patchouli essential oil.
Patchouli oil.
You can use whatever, like it's dressing a spell is your own opinion pretty much. So I'm going to just spray my paper. And Sam is going to gather what she needs.
Yes, I like this.
So,
I have some chaga elixir. This is like my new health thing. A lot of what I'm manifesting is about my health. And this mushroom stuff's just been amazing.
I love that. See, spells is about, if it makes you feel good, use it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use High Vibes Infused Body Oil. It's a rose oil. Looks like this.
Oh, damn, that looks so cool. I
Mhm.
need to get in on more elixirs.
Yes, and my patchouli is in this little bottle. I made it. It has
Magical.
it has organic patchouli essential oil. It has moon water and all this other witchy stuff. So I'm just gonna get some drops of the oil, and I'm gonna probably just do. Remember, guys, all this is about intuition. You know, if it feels good, you might want to do it. So my intuition is telling me to do 9 drops. So I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, 9. Okay. How's it coming, Sam?
Very, very well. Just putting lots of, just bringing a lot of awareness to the paper, to the oils, to the
Yeah.
words, making sure they're being heard.
Mhm. Now, our next step is going to be we're dressing the paper, right? So our next step is you want to get, like I said, all of this can be really flexible. If you feel called in to do it, do it. I feel called in to put a piece of hair of my own into the paper because it's my manifestation. So actually, when I was putting the oil, a piece of hair fell into the paper. So that's the universe being like, you need this.
You know what? Anytime I do a spell or make anything for people, my hair goes with it. My friends all find my hair all over their houses and everything. It's really funny.
Yes. So I'm putting the strand of hair. It's in here. Now I already did my first folding. I'm gonna do 9 foldings. You can do as you know, however you feel called into. There's no right or wrong. That's my second. And remember, it's all intention. So I like to take a deep breath in. Peace, harmony. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9.
Yes.
So now that you have your paper, how many times did you fold yours?
I did mine 11 as well.
Nice. Okay. So now that you have your piece of paper, okay, we're going to hold a piece of paper and now we're going to charge it with our truest intention. Okay. And so now we're going to enter into a small meditation into charging the paper. Okay. So just get comfortable. So we're going to take a deep breath in. We're going to take a deep breath through our nose and let go out through the mouth. And allow yourself to settle in into this present moment. Allow your body to be here in the moment. Now, within yourself, you are going to repeat what you wrote on the paper. Before you do that, we're going to clear the space. Creating a sacred space. Creating a sacred space. A sacred space has been created. Only high vibrational beings can be here. Any lower energies can leave now. Thank you. Now we're going to get the paper and put it on our heart. Now imagine your piece of paper turning to a desired color that you feel called into. My paper is turning red and orange and a little bit of yellow. Now we're going to charge our paper, our spell, with our heart center energy. So powerful. So envision your paper being cocooned by your heart center, by the energy, the high vibration of love. And through the next days that you're going to be manifesting this spell, know that your spell is protected from lower energies. Your spell is surrounded by your beautiful heart energy. So maybe those days that you may feel doubt, it's okay, because your paper is now rooted and grounded with this beautiful vibration of unconditional love. So we're going to take a deep breath in. Now we're going to take a minute just to affirm what we wrote on the paper, starting now. And every time we're going to take a deep breath. That's every sentence that we wrote, we take a deep breath in.
The time is 4:00 p.m.
Now we're going to come back into this present moment. Now that your paper is so rooted and so charged with your intention, with your meditation, now we are going to get our pumpkin, right? And we're going to put the piece of paper. Now, our pumpkins still have yet to be opened up and carved in, right? But for the sakes of showing you guys how to finish the spell, we're going to pretend that it's already open. So there we go. Put it inside. We put the piece of paper inside, okay? Now, I'm going to put mine into the side because I still have to open mine. And the last thing we're going to do is we're going to remove any energy of whoever touched this pumpkin from whatever you guys got it from. We're going to remove that energy from the pumpkin. So in this case, I'm going to get mugwort, black sage.
I got a nice wee mix as well of some different things. Oh, but I don't know what a lighter is. Oh no. I can't.
So you guys were prepared.
Yeah. So witches just have this stuff on hand.
Yeah. Absolutely. I actually went to this spiritual store called Sticks and Stones.
Oh, I love
And I happened to meet a witch there.
it.
I made a new friend, yes. And I mean, witches know witches.
Yes,
You know.
you can smell it. Hey, you just walk down the street and you know.
Yeah, and I don't always talk to any witch. There's certain witches that I'm not meant to speak to. But this one, I was like, oh, within my heart field, I was like, I'm gonna be friendly, you know. So she actually got mugwort, and we were. I felt like we were shopping together. Actually, we were like showing. We were showing each other what we were getting. It was fun. That's guys. It's all about that heart chakra. It has to be open. You want beautiful connections. Your heart chakra has to be open. Your connections will happen from the heart. There will be high vibrational connections.
Yeah. I know myself, like this year is the first year I've started to receive, you know? Wow. Whole new way of life.
Okay, so I have to purify whoever touched my pumpkin. To purify that energy, I'm going to grab my sage. It has mugwort and other stuff. So I'm gonna grab my pumpkin, and I'm just gonna sage it in circles. So pretty much I'm just gonna clockwise like this. And you just want to sage purifying any tangible object you're going to use for a spellcraft is important, because all these stores, all these spiritual stores, witchy stores, Santeria stores, or whatever, people go there and touch everything, and yeah, and they might leave some imprint on it. We don't want that. And we're just going to purify this pumpkin, and it's all about intention. That's it. You don't question it. Now I feel in my heart that my pumpkin is purified and it's ready. And there's a little spider walking on it, so I guess it's.
Oh my goodness, that's such a good sight.
I love spiders.
Yeah, because they work so hard at their home. It gets knocked out, but they just keep building. Oh, that's
It's Halloween. My favorite holiday.
I think the best thing. Yes.
I don't celebrate any holidays, not even Christmas. But I mean, I did celebrate Christmas last year, more from a pagan perspective, because of my partner. But the holiday that I love, Halloween is my holiday. I love to dress up. Probably gonna do a photo shoot for Halloween.
Yay!
And so it's fun. So we're gonna wrap up this spell. So get creative, putting a garlic inside my pumpkin. So I have a garlic bud in here.
Oh.
It looks like this. And the garlic will go inside my pumpkin, and the garlic will allow the next 9 days to purify. Everything has to be purified. The pumpkin will be charged with garlic. Garlic is such a beautiful protection, vibration, and detox energy. So that's pretty much it. My pumpkin now has the garlic, the paper, and that's it. I feel confident about it. How do you feel about your pumpkin?
Very well, yes. I'm going to put rosemary in mine just for that extra protection because my mind still plays tricks on me and convinces me things it shouldn't. So yes, the rosemary will help that. I might even get some oil to wear
Yes,
as well.
I want to share one last thing before we go, guys. In spirituality, it's about harnessing that connection on your heart, you know, and we are in this reality and we have a brain, we have the ego, you know, and spirituality is not about becoming perfect. It doesn't actually takes your ego and your mind away because they're important parts of you, of your body, how it functions, and I just want to share that even us, there's days that we might have some negative thoughts, coming. And I just want to invite everyone that is watching. Meditation has been practiced for thousands of years by different cultures. It is that bridge into your highest self. And all the star seeds, all the light workers meditate. You can never get tired of sharing that and saying that. Um, Meditate and calibrate yourself. Exercise when you need it. Move your body. Go see the sun. And also, don't take it so serious. Be easy with yourself. Don't take it so serious. If you have days that you fall down and you trip, look back into the past how many times you've actually tripped and you got yourself up. One last thing I want to say, if you're having all these negative thoughts, they're not going to happen. Change your focus into your heart and reaffirm that you are in a good place because it's all about vibration. That's pretty much it. Any last words that you want to share with us, Sam?
I just have a very full heart just now. This has been such a lovely time chatting to you, diving in to this topic as well. So much fun. So thank you for having me and just joining to create this and connect. Oh, thank you.
Where can people find you, Sam?
Oh, yes. They can find me on Instagram and YouTube. On Instagram, it's Starseed Sam. And on YouTube, it's Shaman Sam. And what about yourself, dear Pythagoras?
Yes, so you guys can find me on Instagram at virtual feline, and you can find me on YouTube as well as Pythagoras Blue Arc. And are there any upcoming projects that are coming to you? Is there anything else you want to share, Sam?
I do have a live at some point this month with Aria Z Young, so that'd be lovely. Just a bit about light language, and we did this expression soul exploration portal this summer as well, so just diving into that a bit. So very excited for that. And yes, what about yourself? What beautiful things have you got coming?
I have a workshop coming up on October 29th with my dear sister Aria. We are doing a heart center portal workshop, and it's going to include Akashic quantum healing. It's going to include light activations, light language, meditation. It's going to create experiences with people. So it's not just going to be me and her talking or teaching. It's going to be more of a tribe gathering together and having an experience in decoding the whole aspect of the heart center portal. So if you feel called into joining us, you have to register on Zoom and pretty much join. It's a donation based and it's happening at 12:30 on Eastern time, October 29th.
Oh, that's amazing. Also, you two, you're in Aria's like presence, energy, and voices is incredible. So please tap in if you guys can, because wow, it's been you two that have helped, well, assisted me in diving into past life and Akashic. So a lovely, lovely duo, beautiful healing energies.
You, dear sister, will you like to gift us, everyone that is watching, with a short light language activation for manifestation? And I'm gonna go here, hold my pumpkin.
Oh, okay, okay. I've been feeling myself like buzzing this whole time. So, so before any light language, just close your eyes, take some big breaths, allow your body to sink in with the gravity, let yourself drop. Open your mind and your heart. Mm-hmm. And ask yourself to be open to receiving this manifesting activation. Mm-hmm. Erukayannate sorakayara. Uyannate useyanakaura. Eanakeura. Esuyanate ushayanakaurura. Eteura. Ekomariki samateura. Entoikaura. Esorekateura tayanateu. Ushayanateu kayanar tetatar. Esoyatetetekoya. Iusatateusha. Aisayanateura. Ekoyaritayana seura. Make sure you're taking some big breaths and really sighing all that extra energy out. Really connecting you to that Mother Earth energy. Ooh, ra-ta-ta-ta-ta. Almost like you can feel her energy coming up into your roots and directly jumping from your heart into your pumpkin. Ooh, ra-ta-te-o, sayanaya-ke-ura. Ta-ya-ya-ya. And all to take from this whole session is belief in yourself. Belief that you deserve anything that you wish, whether it be healing or manifesting. You deserve it all.